everybody, it's Jaime from No Getting Off This Train. In today's video, I am giving you some healthy breakfast ideas that you can take into the new year. So January, this new year, is the time when almost everybody wants to eat healthier. They make all these New Year's resolutions like, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna start eating healthier. And a lot of times, we don't really know how to do that. Like, we say we're going to, but we don't put a plan behind it. And I honestly believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I know I've said that before, you probably heard it before, but it really is. It helps prevent you from overeating the rest of the day. It gives you a lot of energy to fuel you throughout the morning and the rest of the day. And eating breakfast can help you lose weight because it prevents you from overeating later in the day. Now, these breakfasts I'm about to give you are super easy and delicious. Like, I have ADHD, so I need some easy things that I can pull out of the fridge every morning to get my breakfast in. So you can prep these on like a Sunday afternoon and have breakfast for the entire week. Now, I'm gonna have links to all the recipes down in the description, so make sure you check those out. I'm also gonna be talking about like different nutrition info and cool little tidbits about these breakfasts. So let's get started with these amazing breakfast ideas. This first section is all about oats. Now, oats are a nutritional powerhouse in the mornings. They're a good source of fiber and protein thanks to the whole grains. They've been shown to help lower cholesterol and promote weight loss. Oats are also naturally gluten-free, although if you're really sensitive to gluten, you'll want to buy certified gluten-free oats. And the great thing is, you don't have to just eat a plain bowl of oatmeal. You can actually bake oats with other ingredients, and it almost has the consistency of cake. It's super soft and fluffy, and it's so good. The one I'm making here is a banana bread baked oatmeal, which is my top breakfast recipe. You just mix the oats with milk, eggs, and a few other ingredients and bake it in the oven for about 40 minutes. After it's fully baked, I let it cool completely before slicing because otherwise it'll fall apart. Now, this has more carbs than protein, so if you'd like a little protein punch, you can eat this with some eggs, sausage, or cottage cheese, just to name a few. This combo will keep you full for hours. Now, I sliced this into 6 servings, so I can make this on a Sunday afternoon and eat from it all week long. Now, in addition to baked oatmeal, you can use oats to make muffins. Now, the version you're about to see is gluten-free, but there are other recipes out there that use both flour and oats at the same time. The muffins are a fun way to get kids to eat more nutritious foods too. Like, Allison won't eat baked oatmeal, but she'll happily eat a muffin. This recipe also uses Greek yogurt, which is full of protein and will help keep you full longer. And you'll notice I add flaxseed and then some walnut pieces at the end. Both of them are full of healthy omega-3 fats, which we don't usually get enough of. Flaxseed doesn't have a taste when you add it to baked goods, and I'll usually put about 3 tablespoons into whatever I'm making just to get that boost of healthy fats. You can turn these into regular size muffins or even mini muffins. Bake them for 12 to 20 minutes, depending on the size, and you've got a ton of muffins ready to grab and go. And my favorite part, you can freeze them. Now, I put them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and I flash freeze them just like that. And I'll put them in a gallon-sized freezer bag. They will stay fresh for up to 3 months, but we always pretty much finish them by then. So, these were 2 ways that you can use oats in baking, but what if you don't want to use your oven? So this is where overnight oats come in. Overnight oats have a thick and creamy consistency like a bowl of oatmeal, but they're kept in the fridge overnight for the oats to absorb the liquid. Just like baked oatmeal, you can use a ton of different flavor combinations. My standard base recipe is a half cup of oats, 1/3 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt, and 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. All of that provides a good amount of protein and fiber, and from there I'll add other ingredients like blueberries, bananas, and peanut butter and jelly, chocolate chips, or like whatever suits my fancy that week. Check out my master post in the description for all of the different overnight recipes you just saw. And my last way to use oats is as granola in a yogurt parfait. So I usually make these the morning of, so it's a bit more time consuming, but you could prep them ahead of time if you want. I use a base of Greek yogurt for protein and then some kind of fruit. So for me, it's either frozen blueberries or a diced apple. Both of them have amazing flavor in yogurt. And then I'll add some granola on top. Now you can make your own granola or use store-bought, although homemade sometimes has less added sugar. I personally like buying the granola that has added protein just because I like to stay full longer. Granola can be pretty calorie dense, so if you're watching your calorie intake, just be mindful of how much you add. Now, as you can see, I love eating oats in a ton of different ways, but let's get into some more savory options. Now this one is maybe non-traditional, but I'd like to introduce you guys to baked sweet potatoes for breakfast. Sweet potatoes are an amazing source of vitamin A and other essential vitamins, and they can be a great addition to any meal of the day. I slice them in half and put them in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes to get them nice and soft. And then I'll top them with random ingredients. Like most recently, it was sour cream and salsa, and I scrambled some eggs and spinach to go with it. Now, let me take the time to say that so far, these foods are pretty carb heavy, and I know I'll get some comments on it. Friends, carbs are not bad for you. You obviously need to be mindful if you're diabetic, but carbs give you energy and they don't make you gain weight like people think they do. I will happily debate you later, but let's get into some more breakfast potatoes. I use red potatoes for this one for some variety. Each type of potato has its own main sources of vitamins, so I try to eat all the different types. And I leave the skin on, both because it's delicious and because a lot of the vitamins are in the skin. I like making potatoes like this because you can customize it to your liking. I use frozen peppers and onions, but you could use fresh or even add other favorite vegetables. I use olive oil to help roast them and get in some healthy fats, and then sprinkle with seasoned salt and chili powder, and I roast it at 400 degrees for close to 30 minutes. Now, these potatoes could be eaten on their own, but as it's pretty low in protein, I will usually scramble some eggs or heat up some frozen sausage links to go with it. This is another good meal prep recipe that you can make in less than an hour and have breakfast all week long. Now, as you can see, it makes a ton of food. I divide them into meal prep containers, and once they've cooled completely, I put them in the fridge. Now, you could just scramble some eggs while the potatoes are cooking and just add them to each container, like whichever is easiest for you. But as you can see, these potatoes can be highly customizable and made to suit your needs. The next breakfast idea is veggie omelet cups. Now, one egg has 6 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat, making these guys an amazing addition to your morning. They're also a source of vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, and iron. You could scramble them or fry them, but you can also bake them in the oven with some vegetables and other delicious ingredients. I added spinach and mushrooms in this one, but like onions, broccoli, and bell pepper are good options too. Just add your favorite seasonings and maybe some cheese, and pour the mixture into a muffin tin, and they'll be ready in about 20 minutes. Now, these are lower in carbs, so you could eat these by themselves if you wanted, or you could serve them with those breakfast potatoes we made earlier, or another favorite carb, like a bagel or English muffin. Now, the egg cups don't have a lot of fiber, so you can make that bagel whole wheat to help you stay full longer. So if you're feeding a family with this, or you want to make this last the week, I recommend making a double batch. Like I typically eat 3 of these for breakfast, and with a standard recipe, that'll get me about 4 days worth of food. It's not too bad, but make more if you want these to last longer. Another great thing is that these egg cups freeze easily too. Just like with the muffins, put them on a baking sheet with parchment paper and freeze them, and then put them in a gallon-sized freezer bag. Now, these last 2 recipes are from my archive, so if they look old and have recipe text, that is why. So let's take a look at these breakfast bowls. These are similar to the breakfast potatoes, but I scramble some eggs and add them to the meal prep containers too. And this one, I use sweet potatoes, but again, any kind of potato will work. You can fry them in a skillet or roast them, and then add a bunch of seasonings. Some of my favorites are garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and salt and pepper. And again, use any vegetable you want. Like this is a great way to use up leftover veggies in the fridge. Try to add a variety of colors because each vegetable has its own unique set of vitamins. Adding scrambled eggs to this gives it the protein boost we need to start our day right. I usually add a bit of milk and then seasonings and scramble it right with the vegetables. Now our last breakfast idea is bagel sandwiches, which are freezer friendly. My top hack for making eggs is to crack them into a large muffin tin and then bake them in the oven. From here, you can add your favorite meat and cheese. Deli ham is my favorite, and I'll just use whatever cheese I have on hand. These two are full of protein along with the egg, and the bagel provides the carbs and energy. So you can tell this video is old because, oh my gosh, I have hair. Anyway, use whole wheat bagels to add some extra fiber. If you want to freeze them, wrap them in plastic wrap and place them in a gallon-sized freezer bag. These are super handy to get out the night before and have a full breakfast ready to heat in the toaster oven. Leave me a comment and tell me, what type of breakfast do you usually like to eat? Honestly, for me, I kind of need something sweet in the mornings because otherwise, I don't know, I just feel like something sweet is really needed. So things like baked oatmeal or a regular bowl of oatmeal, something like that, and then definitely some fruit to go with it. Hopefully, these gave you a few ideas to take into the new year with you. And remember that eating healthier doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't mean that you have to eat healthy every single day or for every single meal. There's definitely a balance, but these can help you make some more nutritious decisions. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later.